Hello, my name is Joanna Leal and welcome to my channel. Today I will be telling you the story of why I think the studio I work in is haunted while I show you the process of tattooing a jack-o'-lantern face on a munchkin pumpkin. I will tell you a little bit about the video first and then we'll get on to the story. So I decided to Sharpie roughly what I wanted to do on the pumpkin first so I knew where everything was going. But you will see later in the video that I took some creative liberties with how I embellished the pumpkin. Here I'm using a 5-liner to line up everything, and then I'll be using a 5 shader to shade some of the things. Going on to the story. I work in a studio, a tattoo studio, that is in the busiest part of town, I'd say, and it's a very chill studio, very family business vibes. So the story that I'm about to tell you is not really a scary one, I don't think. So this studio is built on an area that has been around since at least the 18th century. I can't confirm if the studio is that old. From what I heard, it was around 100 years old. I don't know if the studio is from the 18th century or just about 100 years old, but either way, it's an old building. Other than that, the studio is also decorated with my mentor's collection of masks that he's collected and people have brought him from all over the world. So I guess an old place and some creepy masks. That's my theory of if there is a ghost in the studio, of where the ghost might have come from. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I believe ghost stuff or the paranormal like that, but I like to entertain it and I find it quite fun to live in that whimsical fantasy world where you believe these things could happen. But you let me know if you actually believe them, if you had experiences that made you believe and all of that. I love hearing people's stories, and I feel like every time I hear a story from someone I trust, I'm more inclined to believe it. But yeah, this is my one and only paranormal or vaguely paranormal experience that I had. Basically, one day I was at the studio and I had gotten my money for the day and I put it in my pocket. And I remember putting it in my pocket because I thought to myself that wasn't a very good idea, but I wanted to go and have a cigarette because I had just finished up a piece of work and I was itching for one. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna die, please don't judge me. Yeah, so I went for my cigarette and I had my money in my pocket, and then I came back up and I wanted to put my money in my purse because, as mentioned before, I knew it was a bad idea to have it in my pocket. So when I go to get it, the money is not in my pocket. I start panicking. I go downstairs, can't find the money. I come back up and I tell my mentor that I have misplaced the money, if he could help me look. And we both looked like basically everywhere in the studio. We looked in the bathroom, in the piercing room, and last we looked was actually in the piercing room, and we were like, yeah, okay, it's lost. I probably dropped it downstairs and someone passed, saw it and picked it up. So yeah, that's bye money. And I was quite sad, and we left the piercing room. I closed the door. We go in the main tattoo room. We talk for a while, and then I decide I need a cup of coffee. So I go back in the piercing room to get in the kitchen. And when I open the piercing room, all my money, like literally all the notes, are scattered on the floor, all over the floor. So there is no way I would have missed the money being there when I looked in the piercing room. I know my mentor didn't come into that room earlier without me. He was there when I was looking for the money, and that was it. So I knew he hadn't done it. And, well, I hadn't done it. I thought, well, maybe it was the wind or something, but the windows were closed, and I had not even been in the piercing room unless when I was actually looking for the money, because I got the money, went downstairs, came back upstairs, realized I didn't have the money. So that's like extra creepy. I call my mentor, he looks at it and he's like, oh wow, holy shit, like this is weird. And it was in fact weird. It was just like this weird feeling of like, okay, who's messing with me? And yeah, then we talked a little bit. He told me that it's not the first time stuff like that has happened. Never like anything super scary or remotely scary. It's just stuff like it looks like someone's messing with you. So yeah, after that experience, I heard from someone else in the studio that sometimes they feel like there's someone there with them, like they kind of see someone through the corner of their eye and then they look and there's no one there. But yeah, so that's my story. I don't really know what to think of it. I'm still a bit skeptical. Like I like to think that maybe the money was like, I don't know, like it flew there, like it just a gust of wind or something. Because I'm sure there is an explanation for it, even if the explanation is not what I'm expecting. But let me know what you think. As always, with anything paranormal, take it with a grain of salt and let me know what you believe may have caused this. And if you have any spooky, unexplainable tales of your own, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want to subscribe, and like the video if you want to support me. See you next time. Bye.